All right, guys, it is coming up on 6:10, and I wanted to jump back here on social media one more time and give you a quick weather update. Now, obviously, we are still tracking the remnants or what is now Tropical Depression Claudette, and she is still meandering around the Meridian, Mississippi area, still throwing copious amounts of rain into the Tuscaloosa area right now. If you are in downtown Tuscaloosa, if you're watching over towards Coker, Brookwood, Coaling, also down towards Foster's or Moundville, you guys have a lot of very heavy rain coming into your area. Also, if you were up here from a point near Reform and McShann, Alabama, stretching all the way over to Berry, then Oakman and Parrish, and south of Jasper. There is another feeder band that is really heavy rain sitting over the city of Berry. Then you've got other heavy rain that's falling up here towards Hartselle, Decatur, Huntsville, and then of course you have other heavy rain that's falling over here towards Lake Guntersville and Fort Payne north of Gadsden. Then you come down to Anniston and it's more scattered down here in East Alabama, over here towards Alabaster, Calera, and Alexander City. And then, of course, we go down here towards the south. We've got this batch of storms that is over here towards Auburn and Opelika. And I do believe that this is the last rain band that we have to worry about with the potential of tornadoes. I think once we get this one last little band here into Georgia, I think we can sound the all clear. Now, for another 49 minutes, there is still a tornado watch for the far southeastern portions of Alabama. But I really feel like the tornado potential is winding down for East Alabama and Southeast Alabama. Central, Northern, and Western Alabama never really did have a tornado threat. It was basically from the areas of Montgomery down to Dothan and towards the areas near the Georgia, Alabama, and the Florida, Alabama corner of the state, basically down here from Montgomery to Greenville to Troy to Ozark, Enterprise, and Dothan. So right now, I'm not seeing any signs of any kind of rotation. Now, I will tell you, if you were over here in Opelika, there is probably there's probably winds of 30 to 40, possibly even 50 miles per hour. That is along this line of wind that comes down through Opelika, just like that. Now, this line of wind is not severe. However, winds of 40 to 50 miles per hour are very possible within that line of storms. And next up, to be impacted by that line of storms is going to be Opelika, and then getting down here to West Ridge, Beans Mill, Pine Grove, and then eventually getting up here towards the Fairfax and Valley, Alabama area. Also, Liberty Crossroads, and Tuckersburg. So that is the only line of storms that we have left in the state of Alabama. Now, I do want to also mention that earlier this morning, and I've covered it every time that we've had an update, but I wanted to give you guys another update. Over in Brewton, Alabama this morning around 6 or 7 o'clock, there was a tornado that tore through the Brewton area and the East Brewton area. that did extensive damage and injured 20 people. So these storms have definitely packed a punch earlier today, and they are finally starting to wind down for our friends over here in southeast and east Alabama. Now, earlier, there was one tornado warning over here in southern Georgia, but that has been allowed to expire. But really, with the sun going down and the loss of the daytime heating, I really feel like all of these storms, basically from Destin all the way up to Enterprise and just off to the east of Auburn, I think all of these now are going to be more tropical and below severe limits because we are about to lose the heating of the day as the sun goes down. And let me just check and see from the radar down here, Eglin Air Force Base. Let me check and see if there are any signs of rotation with these storms. I don't think there will be, and no. Now, of course, you could have some strong winds along a line right here, but no signs of rotation, which is good here in South Alabama. So once again, I think we can sound the all clear I would say till about 7 o'clock. And then after 7 o'clock, I think things are going to start winding down here in South Alabama and East Alabama. Now, I will say this. I think for the remainder of the night, you could have a passing shower or thunderstorm. And especially if you were up here towards the 2059 corridor. But let me just go ahead and say, none of these storms, Birmingham to Tuscaloosa to Utah, none of those storms are severe, and none of those storms are expected to become severe. Your most tornado threat, if there is going to be one, is going to be probably from Enterprise to Auburn to Columbus, Georgia, and over to Dothan. But that, of course, is a very limited threat now that we are losing the daytime heating as we head into nightfall. So once again, if you're watching across North Alabama, basically along and north of the 2059 corridor, sorry, I had to check what the report was that came in from the National Weather Service chat. And I do want to also mention, while I've got the chat pulled up here, that the National Weather Service, as of 5:19 this evening, which was an hour ago, the tornado watch for Montgomery County has been canceled. So Montgomery County is no longer under the watch. However, for about another 40 minutes, Barber, Bullock, Lee, Macon, Pike, and Russell counties are still under the tornado watch until 7 o'clock. And I don't think they are going to extend it after 7 o'clock. So once again, Barber, Bullock, Lee, Macon, Pike, and Russell counties, you guys are still under the tornado watch until 7 o'clock. But after 7 o'clock, I don't think it will be extended. Okay, Tallahassee has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for a couple of counties down in Florida. So we will take a look at those and see if they are on the border of Alabama, and they are not. So that's good news. So there's your warning for Florida. It does not touch any county near Alabama, so that is good news. And those storms would likely spread over here towards Chipley, Marianna, Florida, and then go over here towards Georgia. So those storms are probably not even going to make it into the state of Alabama. If they do, it would be in the far southeastern corner of Alabama, down here towards Cottonwood and Ashford, Alabama. So that's the situation. Rain and thunderstorms will continue throughout the night as tropical depression Claudette continues to meander around the state of Alabama, and it's supposed to be moving off towards the north and to the east. It is supposed to basically ride along the 2059 corridor and wind up over towards the Charlotte, North Carolina region tomorrow. So that is the situation. The actual path, I can actually draw that for you. The center of circulation you can see spinning is right here, and the motion it's supposed to take is going to be something along the lines of this, moving up the 2059 corridor and then basically moving up north of Atlanta overnight tonight, and then moving up towards the Charlotte, North Carolina area by tomorrow. So you can expect off and on rain showers for the rest of the evening, but I think the tornado threat has really lessened for our Alabama counties. I think if you were over here in Georgia, you still have a decent threat, or if you know of anybody, they still have a decent threat of seeing a couple of tornadoes. But I think all is clear for Alabama. But just so you know, even though we say that it's clear, we are not going to leave the radar, or we are not going to ignore any warning. If a warning is issued, I will be right back here on social media providing severe weather updates like I always do. But I do believe that the most significant part of the severe weather and tornado threat has ended for Alabama. And for my friends that are watching around Tuscaloosa, I just wanted to zoom in and show you guys what is going on right now, because it's raining rather heavy, basically from the southern end of Lake Tuscaloosa, stretching down to downtown Tuscaloosa, then across to where Stillman College is and Northport, out towards the Tuscaloosa Airport, and then stretching back here towards the Jenna community and the Union community, also north of Knoxville and Utah. But like I said, none of this is severe. This is just extremely, extremely torrential rains right now in Tuscaloosa. And I would expect this to possibly continue for the next 1 to 2 hours, and then the system will be moving off towards the north and the east, and the rain will come to an end, and I would not be surprised to see a few breaks in the clouds tomorrow for Father's Day out there. But basically all of Mississippi, nothing is going on in Mississippi. The northern portions of Alabama is getting rain, basically from Huntsville and Fort Payne all the way back into Tuscaloosa. There's the central Alabama look. There is a dry slot that has come over here towards the Alexander City areas, and then of course the Sylacauga area as well, north of Montgomery. But that's it. I mean, that's the last final push of the Claudette through central Alabama. So once again, let me put this into motion for you. And there is your center of circulation, pretty much right there on the state line between Meridian and Livingston right now. And it is supposed to move on off quickly later tonight. It's supposed to pick up speed and move more towards the northeast and move on out of Alabama probably around 2 or 3 in the morning. Now, could we have rain through that time? Absolutely. Could we have tornadoes during that whole time? It is very doubtful. So that's the good news. But once again, I wanted to look at this one more batch of storms that stretches from Lafayette down through Opelika and just off to the west of Salem. I want to look at this one more time to see if there's any kind of rotation. And the good news is, from the Montgomery radar, this looks like it would be more of a straight line wind threat, if anything. From Birmingham, they're not really picking up that much either. And from further down south, the Fort Rucker radar, once again, just a little bit of heavy wind in the straight line form. So once again, we're off and on rain for the majority of the night. Basically, if you are along and north of 2059, and then it will be moving out by in the morning. During the pre-dawn hours, rain will come to an end. Probably in West Alabama, I would say between 9 and 10 o'clock tonight. And then, of course, we will be having scattered showers and thunderstorms. Scattered afternoon thunderstorms, more of a summertime pattern as we get into next week. And then possibly we could have more storms become an issue next weekend as well. But for right now, that is the weather situation. I'm going to sign off on social media. No more updates from me, unless, of course, we do get a rogue tornado warning for this batch of storms that is over here near Opelika, or if we happen to get one from this other feeder band that is south of Eufaula, or west of Eufaula, stretching down through Enterprise right now. So the Storm Prediction Center just put out a new discussion that says that there is a small tornado threat for southeast Alabama. And this would basically be for this small area, if anything. Now, it also stretches over into Georgia. But for our Alabama areas, that right there would be the most significant threat for a possible tornado for the rest of the evening. It is a small portion of southeast Alabama. So it is, let me just go ahead and say this. There is a threat there. It's a non-zero threat, but right now things are not really popping on the radar. Now that could change. But once again, I think if it's going to be a tornado left tonight, it is going to be basically from the Eufaula area down to Ozark, Enterprise, and Dothan in a very small corridor of Alabama for today and for the remainder of the night. Basically, if you are from the Enterprise area to Ozark to Eufaula and points off to the north and to the west, I think you guys are safe for the remainder of the evening. However, if you are just go ahead and draw it. If you are north and west of this line right here, you have limited to no threat of a tornado for the remainder of the night. However, if you are down in this corridor, there is still a tornado threat, but it is a small threat and a non-zero threat for the remainder of the night. So I am going to continue to watch things here in the radar for the southern portions of Alabama, the southeastern portions of Alabama. I will probably. Hmm. So once again, just watching everything. So once again, I apologize for pausing there. But once again, um, we do have potential for more severe weather for a very small portion of South Alabama tonight. That would be basically from Eufaula to Enterprise to Dothan and points off to the south and to the east. So I will continue to watch things. I'm not going to do another update per se. However, if any of these storms do show signs of becoming tornadic, I will be right back here on social media. But if you do not see me back here on social media or hear of any other warnings, then you will know that there's no longer a threat. However, if there is a tornado warning, I will be right back here on social media. However, I do want to mention this for my friends real quick in Tuscaloosa. Uh, Give me just a second. Hmm. For some reason, it's not pulling up, but I wanted to also mention that the National Weather Service okay, that's one. Okay. The National Weather Service in Birmingham has issued a urban and small stream flood advisory, not a flash flood warning. Okay, that's why it didn't show up. Okay, so for Tuscaloosa, Greene, Pickens, Sumter, and Jefferson counties, and this also includes central Tuscaloosa. An urban and small stream flood advisory has been issued for those areas, including Tuscaloosa, Northport, Holt, Brookwood, Coker, Union, Tuscaloosa Regional Airport, Lake Lurleen State Park, Tuscaloosa Amphitheater, Shelton State College, Jenna, Bryant Denny Stadium, McFarland Mall, University Mall, Knoxville, Binion Creek Landing, Mantua, Benevola, Deer Creek campgrounds, and Bankhead Lock and Dam. For the potential of flash flooding later tonight. Okay, so okay, so for those of you who may just be joining me, I do want to mention that I'm zoomed in here over Tuscaloosa County. And the reason that I am is because the National Weather Service in Birmingham has issued an urban and small stream flood advisory for Jefferson County, northern Greene, southeastern Pickens, north central Sumter, and central Tuscaloosa counties until 9:30 this evening. So that goes for another 3 hours. Because Doppler radar has indicated heavy rain due to thunderstorms, this will cause urban and small stream flooding. Between 2 and 3 inches of rain has fallen. Locations that are associated in the flash flood and the urban and small stream flood advisory includes Tuscaloosa, Northport, Holt, Brookwood, Coker, Union, Tuscaloosa Regional Airport, Shelton State Community College, Tuscaloosa Amphitheater, Jenna, Bryant-Denny Stadium, McFarland Mall, University Mall, Knoxville, Jenna, Mantua, Benevola, Deer Creek Campgrounds, Bankhead Lock and Dam, Foster's, Ralph, Romulus, and an additional 1 to 2 inches of rain are expected over this area through 9:30. So once again, an urban and small stream flood advisory has been issued for northern Greene, southern Jefferson, Pickens County, central Sumter County, and central Tuscaloosa County until 9:30 for 2 to 3 inches of rain that has already fallen, and another 1 to 2 inches of rain are possible through 9:30. So once again, now we're transitioning more into a flooding threat across the Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, and Sumter County areas. And I can actually put this into motion for you and let you see that this area of rain and storms is basically just sitting over the same area. But I do want to caution you, though. There is literally no wind energy with this system. I've got base velocity on. There is no sign of any rotation, meaning a tornado. There is no sign of any straight line winds. This is just more of a heavy rain and a flooding threat for Tuscaloosa, the Birmingham Metro, and the places northern Greene County, including Union, Jenna, Ralph, Romulus, Foster's, Northport, Coker, Mantua, and of course, Akron and Utah. So once again, that is an urban and small stream flood advisory for the area there that I'm zoomed in over until 9:30 tonight for 2 to 3 inches of rain that has already fallen, and an additional 1 to 2 inches through 9:30 tonight. So it is going to definitely be a soggy, nasty night. And what we're going to do, the reason for this is because the remnants of what was Tropical Storm Claudette, which is now Tropical Depression Claudette, the center of circulation is sitting right there west of Livingston and east of Meridian. And what this thing is going to do is that it is going to slide off towards the north and to the east. And it is basically going to parallel 2059 into the state of Georgia. So that is the reason for this extremely heavy rainfall around the area there in Tuscaloosa and also the Birmingham metro area as well. Okay, so, all right, so that should be popping up any minute. There it is. All right, so we have a flash flood warning now for northern Greene and southern Tuscaloosa counties. Okay, Doppler radar indicated thunderstorms producing heavy rainfall across the warned area. Between 2 and 3 inches of rain has fallen. An additional 1 to 3 inches are possible in the warned area. Flash flooding is either ongoing or is expected to begin shortly because of the excessive runoff from flooding. Flash flooding caused by thunderstorms, radar, flash flooding of small creeks and streams, urban areas, highways, streets, and underpasses, as well as poor drainage areas and low-lying areas are possible. Here are the locations underneath the flash flood warning: Tuscaloosa, Northport, Holt, Brookwood, Coker, Union, Tuscaloosa Regional Airport, Tuscaloosa Amphitheater, Shelton State Community College, Bryant-Denny Stadium, McFarland Mall, University Mall. Then here we go, Jenna, Knoxville. Then, of course, we have Foster's, the Foster's Boat Landing as well, Mantua, and the Bankhead Lock and Dam. So once again, that goes until 9:45 for southern Tuscaloosa County and northern Greene. Flash flood warning, which means if you live in a flood-prone area within this green box, you must go to higher ground now because flooding is going to be a major issue if you live in a flood-prone area right now. So make sure, and also if you are out driving, remember, when driving outside and you come over a flooded road, turn around, don't drown. It is not worth risking your life over driving over a flooded road. So once again, I'm not going to go over the entire warning, but a flash flood warning for Greene and southern Tuscaloosa counties until 9:45 because of 2 to 3 inches of rain has already fallen, and an additional 1 to 3 inches are possible in the warned area through 9:45 tonight. So that is the situation that we have ongoing right now. I will turn back on the radar and let you see that it is just absolutely pouring from a corridor of Holt down to Tuscaloosa, down to the Tuscaloosa Airport, and then down here to Foster's, Ralph, and Romulus, then getting over here to Union, Jenna, and Mantua as well. So there is Knoxville, there is Union, there is Mantua. Now, Ralph, you're getting a little bit of a break right now, but it will not last long. Foster's, Sylvan, a lot of heavy rain is falling. Then, of course, there's the Tuscaloosa Airport, Coker, Northport, Tuscaloosa, and then, of course, Holt over in this area, and then Alberta City. So that's the situation that we have ongoing right now. I will continue to provide updates for you guys. There are no other severe weather warnings in the state of Alabama right now other than this urban and small stream flood advisory and a flash flood warning that has been issued for northern Greene County and southern portions of Tuscaloosa County until 9:45. I will continue to provide updates for you guys, and if anything looks rather serious, or if they issue a flash flood emergency for Tuscaloosa, I will be right back here on social media providing severe weather updates. Hope you guys have a great rest of your evening, and as always, God bless.